here's Brody Brazil.
I'll tell you what, this voicemail line keeps me interested and entertained on a daily basis. 8334. Brody, you've been calling in, having such good things to say, questions and comments and contributions to this YouTube channel. I can't get enough. I love listening to them all and then responding to the very best ones, like here on future videos.
Hey, Brody, this is Mike from Phoenix, Arizona. I've been thinking for like the last 10 years or so that the NFL was going to play a Super Bowl in London, England. What are your thoughts and observations that will happen in the next 10 to 20 years? Thanks, and have a great day.
Mike, thank you for calling in from Arizona. Next 10 to 20 years? Probably closer to 20. I think the safe statement I can make right here, right now, and I don't want to give away the best part of this video, but I think in my lifetime, we will see a Super Bowl in London, England. But I've also got so many more thoughts. I don't want you to stop the video right here, right now. I want you to absorb all of this for a second. That's normally more than I put on a screen, but I've got a lot to get to here. The next 3 to 4 years are pretty much always lined up with Super Bowls and what city is going to host them. And so depending on the time of year, it's either 3 or 4 in advance that we already know about. I think right now we've got 26, 27, and 2028 already spoken for. London, England has been hosting games like regular season games and some preseason games, I think, since 2007. They've got the experience, they've got the track record, they've got it built up. We know the venues, we know this can all be pulled off. So it's not like a surprise the first NFL game ever would be a Super Bowl. We've been doing this for more than 20 years by the time we'd ever even consider having a Super Bowl over there. That being said, there has never been a Super Bowl hosted outside of the United States. So if and when this happens, no matter if it's London or Mexico City or Canada, I don't know, anywhere outside the U.S., it's going to be a shock to the system of traditional football fans who say, wait a second, the NFL's our game. This is where the game has grown. It's where the game was born. This is our sport. Do we really want to do this? There is going to be some pushback, some kickback to that, definitely at first and for the first time. Roger Goodell was asked about the possibility of London. I want to say this was within the last year or so. And he basically said, look, we don't see it right now because the Super Bowl is a game that's kind of a reward to one of our league's teams. Like, we bring it to their city as a perk of being in the league and typically being in a warm weather city. Like, you don't see outdoor stadiums on the northern or the northeast quadrant of the United States hosting these games because typically there's snow and weather, and they don't want that for the Super Bowl. They want a very manageable condition so that they can pull this game off without any problems. But Roger Goodell also said it wouldn't surprise me at all if that, like a game outside the U.S. or in London, wouldn't surprise me at all if that happens one day. Now, there are some obvious hurdles and some things to get over here, like the time zone shift. If you really want this game to hit in prime time of the United States, it's going to be several hours later in London, like 5 to 8 to 9 hours later in London. Are they going to have to start this game at like 11 p.m. local time in London? Like, that wouldn't be fair to the audience that's present at the game. How do we do this? Because I don't think you really want to have a Sunday morning Super Bowl game West Coast. And you know what? If you're in Hawaii, it's going to be like a 2 a.m. Super Bowl Sunday game. It's just the shift of where we're at time zone wise. It's going to be difficult to pull off and have everybody in attendance be happy, everybody on the East Coast be happy, everybody on the West Coast be happy, and globally around the world. I also want to point out the Super Bowl, as much as it's about deciding who wins the Lombardi Trophy, who's the best team in the NFL, both teams' fan bases getting to make that instant travel and go to the game. Let's never forget, as somebody who's been to a Super Bowl and understood this within 5 minutes of attending my first Super Bowl, I think it was 37 that I went to, San Diego. It's a corporate event. It's not really entirely about the two teams' fan bases. This is where all the sponsors and all the league's people get to go to a big week-long party, a preamble to the game, and then everybody literally is out of there by Sunday night, early Monday morning. But it's a corporate event. So my question is, does the NFL still want to invite everybody and send them across the Atlantic Ocean? It's so much easier to get them to these domestic cities, right, than it is shipping them to London for a week, and then they all have to adjust to the time change. So I do think that as much as the NFL will consider doing this for the fans and the exposure, the corporate side of it also matters to them too. So do they do this or not? Do the benefits outweigh the effort and also what they would lose in not having a city in the United States host it, right? Do they want to add one more competitor into the conversation here? That's really the question. So my prediction, and I said probably closer to 20 years than 10 years. Remember, they've already got the next 4 lined up, and it's going to take another 4 to 5 years even after that for this conversation to go to the right layers. Now we're 10 years in, so probably closer to 20 if it happens. But I think this likely happens in conjunction with London getting its own NFL team. Now we've started a brand new conversation. Wait, expansion internationally? Yes, I'm predicting that at some point in my lifetime, which I'm hoping is another 40 years plus, at the very minimum, I'm predicting that in my lifetime, we will see an NFL team playing its regular season in London. And with that addition, oh, hey, the London, whatever they're called, are getting a Super Bowl in the year, whatever that is. I think that's exactly how it's going to play out. It'll be announced with the team's announcement. It'll be a huge splash in London, in Europe. I do think there's going to be multiple teams in Europe. You can't just have one. But I think that's how the Super Bowl is eventually announced in London. And I think that's the obvious, safest place to do it first outside of the U.S. You've got so many games already played there. You've got the infrastructure already set up. And you're relatively closer to the East Coast and all those teams than anywhere else. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments section below. Also, thumbs up while you're down there. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I would love to see you back here next time.